all those little segments, they will give you the words and content you need to put out there, so you don't have to think it up in the moment.
Mhm.
You're it's such a foundational thing, and without it, you without doing that piece of the puzzle. And I think that's the problem most people have when they start their business. They just, they're too nebulous about it, and they just you know do a brush all, and then they end up
Yeah.
with nothing. They end up with very little.
Hey everyone, this is Mark de Grasse, the President of Digital Marketer, and this is the podcast that keeps you up to date on everything you need to know when it comes to digital marketing, from the platforms you need to be focused on to the cutting edge tactics and tools that are working today. Today, our guest is Edward Kleijn, the channel manager of MacroActive, and we're talking about effective referral strategies. So welcome, Edward.
Hey Mark, how you doing? It's been a while.
It has. Well, it's funny in the marketing biz. It seems like I can't get away for more than 10 seconds. So it's just one long span of like, I'm
Hey, but
pretty
you
sure
just
we
had
saw each other recently.
TNC. You TNC, leading up to TNC, then doing TNC, then coming down from TNC.
No, it's all just one big blur from like last year's TNC, and then it goes through to this year. So that's how
Awesome,
you know
man. Good
you're
to see you.
busy. Good to see you
Yeah.
too. So we started the conversation before, and we were kind of talking about how a lot of our business is referral based, and how when it comes to the customer value journey, how everybody focuses on getting through the first 4 stages to conversion and then ignores everything afterwards. So why don't we delve into kind of your business and the role that referrals play in it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So thanks for having me on. My name's Edward Kleijn. I work as channel manager at MacroActive. We are the preferred platform for fitness creators who want to scale their subscription-based programs. Okay, it's a complete white label service, and we do everything from, what do you call it, farm to table. What? Yeah. And so it's a complete fulfilled service with actually a lot of the foundations we found in the certified partner program, from customer avatar to CVJ to 90-day growth, big 3 planning canvas, everything gets used. So it literally is a business in a box, helping creators really unlock the potential in their business, and go away from the face-to-face dealing with in-person clients to actually having a truly scalable subscription-based business. That frees up their time so they can focus on creating more content and actually lead the lifestyle that they're looking for.
I love that. Well, and I was actually in the fitness industry for about a decade, and I did everything. I was a trainer, owned a gym, owned a magazine, had a fitness-based e-commerce store, wrote certifications, and then I did the same thing for a bunch of fitness or commercial fitness companies too. So I'm well aware of the struggle, and what you guys do with helping build that subscription base is huge, because I think the only way any of the trainers I ever met will be able to retire is by using a system like yours. But that leads to, how do you sell? How do you get people to subscribe to your content?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, well, the business has been around a long time, and the reason perhaps the brand isn't as recognized is because it's a truly white label service. So we literally sit in the shadows of our clients' platforms, and that actually makes it a little harder because the brand awareness isn't there. We actually do everything at the coal face. We hustle through social networks, through DMs. Use email sequences to get people to become aware of the products and services. And we have a pretty solid, relentless, it's hard work, man. That is proper lead gen, appointment setting, proper sales work that goes on, and the business is literally built on that. But the beauty of having a proper service behind it, and actually charging a good fee for that, and then getting farm to table, get this creator actually producing on the back end, creating eye-watering amounts of money for some of these guys. I mean, we do at this moment in time probably 25 to 30 launches a month. We had our best month last month with 43 launches, and it's not uncommon that people will have $20,000 launches. We had an absolute massive one a couple of months ago at like it was like $48,000 in the first day. Yeah, and then you get the first day's launch, and then second day, and then you get this massive spike, and it sort of tapers off. But this is like amazing, and so these people are, guess what? They're super happy, and I think after the initial sort of launch phase, and we've bedded in, with we do a 90-day growth plan with them to sort of keep their. In fact, I got the actual. Word on that the other day. What did it actually say? It's the NDR, the net dollar retention. Yeah, and it's that client success piece that makes the difference. And people, when they you know this, people buy a website and they think that's the solution. Software is never the solution. It's the implementation, and it's actually activating the the automation or benefits that you get from that software, into the tangible business result. And money talks, man. So a lot of these guys are, becoming, becoming financially independent. So they, you deliver a lifestyle for them. So it's actually, it's my obligation to say, could you tell someone else about that? So we actually do a lot of work in the advocate stage. Yeah, in terms of reaching out with our creator clients and getting to do a promo video. Yeah, where were you when we found you, or when you found us? Yeah, how was the onboarding experience and launch? Yeah, and where are you now that you're actually benefiting from the results? It's actually a quick structure, and if you look on the MacroActive YouTube channel, you'll see absolute, a boatload of them. We're really proactive on that. And then secondly, we've actually developed some strategies to encourage the promoter stage, right? And we were briefly talking about this earlier, that I think if, especially in the digital marketing world, and you and I, we've both been there, especially when you're first starting out, you're just not charging enough. Right. So when you're not charging enough, your client doesn't actually appreciate what you're doing for them. Right. And you become more and more browbeaten. Now, most people actually end up giving up and actually don't building a successful agency on the back of that. So actually the solution here is, charge a decent amount, charge what it's actually worth. Right. My advice is actually learn to sell, learn to properly sell your solution. Right, because then you get a better client. They're actually willing to pay more. Yeah, and they're actually going to be much happier, and they're actually also a lot less hassle to deal with. Right, they are a lot less hassle to deal with.
Well, I think for the referral business, like when you think that you're, or not, it's just business in general in terms of agencies, when you think you're doing them a favor by not charging enough. But another thing that happens when you're the professional actually executing the plan, which is a lot of work and you probably undercharge for it, is you actually start to resent the client. Like, oh, this client's demanding so much and I barely charge them anything. And so both sides are true, where both sides are disappointed with the work and then nobody's happy. And then on top of everything else, you're not going to get a referral. And if you do, you're going to get a referral to a type of person that you actually might not like to work with. And
yeah, and the thing is, I'm all for constructive criticism. I mean, I had one today, really successful creator. He's going through the onboarding process. He's having a few niggly issues, right? And I said, bring it on, man. Just give it to me, right? Don't be scared of it, But I said, well, I hear what you're saying. I think you made a genuine point, right? And then take that back into the onboarding team. Now we do have standard responses for these things, because it is going to happen. If what they're asking for is unreasonable, or they're being they're being nasty about it. We have the no asshole policy, There is such a thing as a no asshole policy. Yeah,
Hey,
you
you
can't be
should.
rude.
Every company should have one.
Yeah. So anyway, so in the promoter stage, I think, and that is obviously, it is the Valhalla. It is literally the holy grail of where you want to go for, but you can absolutely nurture it, and you should ask for referrals. And people are happy to give it. So just to give you some top three strategies here. Okay. One, give it some time, right? So some people say, oh, you should be asking for a referral within, at the point of sale. Or
Nah,
no,
too soon.
I don't actually believe that. I think deliver your success. Yeah. Handle any issues. Actually, when you've gone through some pain together, because this is our deal is definitely partnership, and I think most digital agencies, because you're an extension of that other business, you're delivering a marketing service. You're the whole reason for you being there is to generate more value, right? So when you've actually delivered that, and you've let's say month 1, month 2, month 3 have gone by, and you can say, well, look, we've the first 90 days, I think, is critical for you to deliver a result, and then say, well, okay, how are we doing? Where were you? Where are we today? And where would you like to go? And I said, and then once they actually say that to you, and they're on board with your strategy, because you're kind of controlling it with the stuff we learned in certified partner. I said, would you mind just putting that on a video for us? Right? And then they go, absolutely. And then just keep it short, keep it below 60 seconds. Yeah, make sure that you've got that structure of where you were, where you are today, and where you're going. Yeah. And then, because you've done your job, you've built that relationship, they're willing to mention your name over and over again. They're willing to mention the service that you provided, and they're actually revealing to other people, yeah, that might be looking at this in the future, that this is a genuine thing, and you've helped them change their life.
That's amazing.
And then the next stage, in the promoter stage, what we do is we actually set up a landing page. Yeah, so these are people who so my job was to go out to our top 40 creators. These people are making 7, some even 8-figure incomes from our platform. And these are super busy people. Nonetheless, they will have people asking them in their DMs, hey, what are you up to? What do you do? I want to do what you do. Okay. Now, one guy actually did so we created a landing page, very simple. Hi, my name is so and so. And this is my platform. Little video again, about his experience with the whole thing, and then sort of pointing to the right, because the form is on the right of the page, right, or down below if it's, yeah, fill out the form, and a member of my team will be in touch, talk next steps. So one guy did a 4-story stack, yeah, because he had to differentiate within his network, because obviously he most of his clients are actually people who want to buy his fitness program, but then he was also selling a coaching program to other trainers, and that's why it was appropriate. Yeah. So the first story was a poll. Yeah. Are you a fitness trainer? Yes, no. Right. And then everybody who says yes, yeah, obviously puts the name down in the end. Then the second one, like, I was washing pots and pans on the weekends while I was trying to run my fitness business. Yeah, he did a really cool little video on that. Now look at my lifestyle. I live in Las Vegas. I've got a Lamborghini and a G-Wagon, and all this stuff. Yeah, so end result. And then click the link in the fourth one.
Nice.
He generated 94 leads, and we're just about to sign our 6th platform.
Wow.
From
That's
those
amazing.
leads. So 94 to 6 deals from one Instagram story stack.
That's incredible. So I think, do you actually run people through like that method? Like, okay, we're going to do the 4-story stack, because actually stacking is kind of a common term that you hear in like tweets, right? Like, okay, I'll do
yeah. So with Instagram stories, you can stack them because so that they'll they'll follow on
Play in a row.
onto each other. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's
we
one
lay that
row.
strategy out. So the other strategy is if people are not comfortable with it because they are literally just selling to the public and they don't want to reveal the fact that they've got a platform, right? That that's somebody else. Then we ask them, so like, just go out into your DMs, okay? And if you I mean, it's going to happen. People are going to ask you, right? And so my job is then to sit with them. It's like, can you go through your DMs and look for the last 3 weeks if anybody's asked you about your what you're up to, or other trainers, or I go into the people that they're following, right? And I look on their Instagram, the people that they're following, and I say, well, these people we've been trying to target, through our lead gen, but we've not been able to get through to them, right? I see that you follow them and they follow you. Would you mind just messaging them?
That sounds so
right?
simple.
Yeah, it is. Well, and they're going to be happy to. I mean, these guys are just financially independent because of us, and it's about building that relationship and say, like, this is and make sure that there is an incentive in place. Right. So we've now decided to take this another step further. Okay, because this kind of ties into my third job where we work on a partner program, which is a little bit like the franchise, what we used to do before. But this is a next level where, we've got trainers who've been with us since the beginning, since 2016, and they're loyal advocates, and they've regularly passed referrals on organically because it just happened in that way. So I've been reaching out to them and said, I want to make a business proposal to you, right? Not only can we give you the referral fee, which is a decent amount, by the way. If you're going to do a referral fee, and this is whether you're working with commission-only salespeople or with people who are loyal advocates with you, make sure that referral fee isn't just some lousy 10%, right? You've got to make it a decent amount. It's exactly, because these are busy people, right? So it's got to be kind of worth their while. We've actually decided that they can participate in the revenue share as well.
Ooh, that's bold.
It is, but the thing is, the motivation to now start referring, because like I said, even if you get a couple of percent of a $40,000 launch, right, and the anniversary thereof the next month, and the month after, and the month after.
Yeah, that could be nuts.
Yeah. We have capped that particular incentive to a certain amount of time. It's not for infinity,
unlimited, but forever.
No. That's only if you actually want to become a business partner. But yeah, and there's only very, very few people who qualify for that, because this is a massive opportunity, and we're only looking for people who pretty much have got clients to go. So we're looking for talent agencies, we're looking for digital agencies who work with fitness creators, and we're looking for high ticket coaches who have where it just makes sense because they already have a ton of clients that they work with. And so one of those guys started with us at the end of March, sold their first customer in the second week of April. And now I've got 84 clients with us. Wow. The last count was 84 clients with us. So they've been here, we're now, 19th of October. So we're 8 months into that deal. Wow. They're on track to do $1 million with us this year. So yeah.
You could live off of $1 million a year. It's not,
but so this is a massive opportunity.
But you can.
No. I'm not going to lie. These guys work extremely hard, but it kind of makes sense because they live in that world. They already have clients there. And it was a fairly easy thing to do. And this is why we've been inspired by the whole referral thing. We just have to reach out to more of our clients, and I recommend it to everybody. For every referrer that you get, you're effectively getting another salesperson. That's right. Fantastic. So it's not, if you're a solo entrepreneur, or you're just a partnership with a couple of guys and one guy is in charge of sales, I've been that guy. You know, it can be a very lonely existence sometimes. You know, so but the thing is, the reason you are good at your job and the reason I do what I do, yeah, is because I love that piece. I love making
Mhm.
friends. I love doing stuff together, you know, and getting that, you know, joined up thinking going
Oh yeah, you have the
and
community going, and well,
yeah,
and I think
exactly.
there's a lot more satisfaction when it's not just you winning when something happens, because it's like, yay, I did it. But if it's a bunch of people on top of like, hey, we did it, like then it starts to
Yeah.
feel a lot better. So do you think there's a way to, I don't know, systematize something similar for, say, agencies trying to get any small business owner? Because I know within fitness is a kind of unique space where everybody has basically the same product. But,
Yeah.
marketing's kind of similar in that regard. Like we all have
Well,
social media
I
platforms and
don't remember. Did we talk about this in the past when were you a member of BNI, that Business Network
yes, yeah, we
International?
talked about that. I was the
Yeah,
president actually at one point.
but that's kind of it, isn't it? That's kind of it, because you're working with a group of small business people, and they kind of become your salesperson because they get to know you and like you and trust you, and then they're happy to refer you.
Mhm.
And so anybody starting out a digital agency right now, go to your local business networking group and just sign up. It's going to be worth it. You know, don't
Yeah,
even
it's great
pontificate
advice.
on it. Just do it. You know, it's going to be some early mornings, and you're going to be wondering, why the hell am I here? But
I
the
think,
thing is,
well,
you will.
well, especially because you have a lot of agencies that are struggling, or a lot of freelance marketers that are struggling, and you're like, well, what have you done? And they'll talk about doing paid ads, or they'll do a bunch of cold traffic sources and not even try to do anything warm, like show up to your local chamber. For me, when I had my website agency, I was a part of several chambers and several small business groups, BNI, and that's what was all my business. Like a lot of my business was either initially came from that referral network, and then it led to all the other referrals from the original referrals. So it was
I
100%
just don't
referral.
see any other way, unless you're born, you know, with. I think a lot of people also sometimes get started because they've been a professional all their life, and they kind
Mm,
of have, you know, a client base ready to go. I mean, a friend of mine got started the other day, and he's in the water treatment business. You know, he does risk assessments and stuff like
mm.
that. And he phoned me up. I started my own business. Oh, great. You know, and said, and I was like, you know, where are you going to get your customers from? So, oh, it's already sorted. You know, because he's kind of, you know, cannibalized from what he did before.
Yeah.
I go, okay, that's odd. When I started, I didn't have any customers. So, do you know what I mean? That's the thing. Um, so I think that's really, but the point, to your point, I think, Mark, it's where you learn you know, to pitch and to sit in front of someone, to be able
Mm,
to say something that's, you know, cohesive and understandable in a short way. I think, you know, just sitting behind I mean, we used to say this to salespeople all your time. It's like, just sitting behind your keyboard all the time, you know, that's not going to generate the sale. You have to pick up the phone. You have to do all that. I call it kicking up dust. Yeah. And
yeah.
because you get a little bit, it's a little bit rough and ready, and you get a bit dirty, but that's, you know, to get the gold, you have to do the digging. Right.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and,
the
and
funny thing, well, like the cold aspect, the cold traffic, it can work, but the amount of volume you have to do to get cold traffic to convert versus getting warm traffic that you have spoken with to convert, they're not even comparable. Now it does work, but you just have to get 10 to 100 times as much leads.
yeah,
And a
well,
lot of times,
we're touching 10 million annual recurring revenue.
wow,
Yeah, we're fast approaching 100 million in creator revenue. We don't believe in cold ads. We just don't
yeah.
believe in it. Because it's expensive, and you don't know whether it's going to actually work. And I mean, it sounds terrible, yeah, from a, you know, digital marketing point of view. But if you, that's never going to be your starting point. Yes, and we say this to our clients as well. You know, hustle in your DMs. Yeah,
Mm,
making an organic strategy. Get your message right. Well, first of all, get your niche right. Yeah, get your
yes. I
customer
was, I was going
avatar
to say
right.
that.
Understand how you communicate with them and deliver value first. Yeah, turn up daily, if not twice a day, right? Because people don't, you know, it's a virtual thing. They're looking at you on a tiny little screen, you know. you can't just post and forget. It's never gonna. That's not how you build a community. And the amazing thing is, I mean, some of the $20,000 launches, and there's a video on our YouTube channel of a lady who's got just over 10,000 followers, just over 10,000, and she's inspired me so much because if you look at her Instagram and the way she turns up and the way she's committed to her clients and the way she delivers results as a personal trainer, yeah, you can't fake that. And people know it. People see it. But she's got her niche absolutely nailed down. She knows exactly how to talk to her. She lives that life. People want to be like her, and that's why they sign up to her program.
No, that's fantastic. We were actually today in the mastermind, we were talking about referrals and then also just how to get exposure for your business, because there's two options. You could go the route that you think digital marketers should take, paid traffic, even organic publishing. Because I was, I'm a big content advocate. And for me, I'm like, all right, you're going to spend a year doing content. And at the end of the year, you might start to get some traffic. So but I don't know what you're going to do for money in that year span, because it's not going to be coming from all the work that you're doing. That's going to come later. So I think it's, I love the pound the pavement, that still works, and it works better than anybody thinks. I love your focus on niche, because I think if you are going to go the cold traffic route, the only way it could possibly function is if you go niche, because then at least all your effort is going towards one place instead of I could serve marketing for the internet, for anybody on the internet.
It's a big problem most people have. They just want to serve everyone,
Yeah.
and they're not specific enough. I mean, the amount of conversations that I have with people, and what it is that you actually stand for. But the thing is that's why, again, I love the stuff that you guys do in Digital Marketer, because you really define it, and there you have the tools to define it, so you can sit down and actually the work that you need to do, sit down and actually properly write out your customer avatar, and several if you've got multiples, because all those bits, all those little segments, they will give you the words and content you need to put out there, so you don't have to think it up in the moment. That's such a foundational thing, and without it, without doing that piece of the puzzle. And I think that's the problem most people have when they start their business. They're too nebulous about it, and they just do a brush all, and then they end up with nothing. They end up with very little.
Well, and they're disappointed with the results, and there's no way they're going to connect to their ideal client, which is kind of what we're describing throughout this episode, is like, if you want to connect to the people you want, niche down, and then actually go out and try to connect to the people. Because there is a chance that you think one group is your niche, or the person you really want to deal with, and then you deal with them and you could hate them. That's a possibility. So you probably shouldn't be in that niche that you're in, and you might have to shift a little bit. But instead of spending all this effort building your entire brand and building all your content strategy around maybe the wrong target avatar, just go out and talk to some people, and you'll find out if this type of person is somebody you want in the first place. Now,
exactly.
For you guys, I think your referral model is fantastic, because you have people who have established businesses, and I'm sure you do some kind of qualification before they kind of become partners with you guys. Is that a part of the process?
Yeah, but I mean, that is shifting. I mean, you would assume that someone with a ton of followers would automatically monetize, and it just that's not the truth. I mean,
necessarily.
Our most recent sort of advocate that's on the YouTube channel is an absolute testament to that. Who'd have thought that with 10,000 followers she would generate that much cash on her launch day. Yet someone who's got 400,000 followers could absolutely bomb, because they haven't defined their avatar, and sadly, oftentimes they just don't follow the strategy that we give them. The reason we give them a strategy is because it's a winning strategy. We know it's a winning strategy. We've proven it's a winning strategy, yet they've ignored it. And then when they bomb, they go, yeah, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Huh? So you didn't follow the strategy. What do you want me to say?
Well, I love how you said that about something, because I've dealt with those clients too, where they had 500,000 followers and you're like, oh man, we're going to crush this thing. Like everybody's going to want it. But then because of the way they create their content, like if they're 100% entertainment, which some people don't realize that that's what they're doing. I'm not going to name names, but people in bathing suits, like people in bathing suits might build up a following that will never buy anything from you. But no, it's a very good distinction to make, though, that all the followers in the world doesn't necessarily lead to all the money in the world, and it might lead to no money
No,
at
no,
all.
no. And the thing is, and you know, our BDMs will not do a pitch meeting unless we've got, and it's more to do with their motivation, because you know, and this is a real classic. I think it was Jay Abraham who said this. You know, I'm not going to push the car. Well, I think, was it you who said this, or was someone in the group said the other day, it's more likely someone's going to stop to help you by the side of the
Oh,
road if you're already pushing the car
I think
yourself.
I saw that post. It was a post from one of the certified
Was it
partners, because
Was
I
it
remember
Kyle?
that too. It might have been
Yeah, was it
Kyle.
Kyle?
That sounds
Yeah.
like a
So,
Kyle
and I
post.
think Jay Abrams says the same. He said, I'm not going to push the car. Yeah. But I can help you, put you in the right direction. You've got to move. You've got to be moving already. You've
Oh
got
yeah,
to be
you
moving
got to be
already. So
trying. You know, nobody
yeah,
wants to help
so
somebody who's like,
that's
oh,
the
just do
thing.
it for me.
So and so when our big qualification piece is, you know, what do you think you'll be able to generate, you know, if we make all this happen? Yeah, after the initial investment, you know, what we do for you, and then from the launch, because you're much more motivated to then engage with our strategy in order to make that happen, because you said you were going to do that. Yeah, if you say you're going to make an extra $10,000 a month, right? And you said it, then you're going to make that happen. If we say that we promise you you're going to make $10,000 and we make 9,999, you're going to be unhappy because we missed it by $1.
Yeah.
You know, and that and that's the thing, you know, because we said it, you now are going to
Have
be
that
unhappy with
expectation.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we do that right before, even before we sell anything. We make sure that we have that strategy, you know, or at least the goal, the MRR goal, we have that down. And I think that's sometimes, again, where and I talk from experience here. When I used to run my digital marketing agency, I used to just make up numbers, right? And then say to my client, that's what we're going to do, but then we never did. So clients are just not going to be happy, so they're never going to be happy to refer. But you know, the thing is, you have to manage those expectations right out the gate, and that's why I think the new way forward, you know, all the opportunities we have going forward in digital marketing is with value first. It's the people who keep delivering value first, you know, on their socials. Those are the ones who are winning. You know, don't be afraid to share what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just give it away for free. I mean, just, you know, if a 90-day you know, growth accelerator program is something you do as a certified partner, just record your sessions, right? Yeah. Record your sessions and show how you handle that process with clients. And that's kind of our next phase. We're creating what's called Affluencer World. So we want to literally go behind the scenes, fly on the wall, sit with clients, and have that as a, you know, similar to this podcast video, but actually get our creators actually to share what they do, you know, to create these successful businesses.
No, that's fantastic. Well,
Yeah, and I'm very excited about that. And you know, you guys have been so inspirational for us. I mean, I remember first signing up as a certified partner back in 2017, and you know, so that's 5 years ago, and it's been nothing short of transformational, because you give those pillars, or you know, that a business needs. And if you're I think most digital marketing agencies are business consultants. You need to see yourself as a business consultant. I see myself as a business consultant to our creators, because they're not business people. And your clients oftentimes are not, they're passionate about what they do, and that's why they have a business. Yeah, but they're not necessarily good business people. And to tie this whole thing up, you meet a lot of these people, and that supportive networking effect at those local breakfast networking meetings, because you get that sense where you complete each other as a bigger team. Well, and that's what you guys do, and I truly hope that that's your vision for the business going forward.
No, it really is. Well, especially with the Certified Partner Program. But I think if you really want to get into referral marketing and start even the affiliate programs and all that kind of stuff, having an understanding, a basis of how you generate referrals in person is going to do wonders for what you could do when you start automating the process with affiliate programs and referral networks.
Absolutely. And deliver a great product to start with. Deliver a great product to start with, and don't be afraid to charge the right amount of money for it, which will attract the right client who will be happy to refer.
Love it. Well, that's a big fat pile of tips, and we appreciate it, Edward. Where can people find more about you and your program?
Yeah, my surname is spelled awkwardly. So best place to find me is probably LinkedIn, Edward van der Kleijn. That's Kleijn with a Kleijn. And go to macroactive.com or search MacroActive on YouTube. There's a ton of information there, really, really valuable content for fitness creators. Watch this space. Yeah, we are just getting started. The USA is opening up for us. The Spanish market is opening up for us. We're very, very excited about what's to come. We've set our North Star to help 10 million people get fitter, live happier and healthier lives for longer, and hopefully that will happen by 2027, when we can cap that off with a $1 billion valuation.
Well, I have no doubt you will achieve that. And I think you're doing amazing work. I think the program looks fantastic, and excellent advice for agency owners as well, which can take advantage of all the techniques that you've kind of described today. Well, thank you very much for coming on. Very informative, and we'll definitely have to have you back to talk about more of this, because we could probably break down any of your suggestions into whole episodes, which I appreciate.
Sweet. Love it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to hit that follow button so you get notified when all of our new episodes release. And please share this with that friend who is clueless about digital marketing. And don't forget to visit digitalmarketer.com, where you can access all of our courses, certifications, and training programs. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you next time.